welcome to OmniBros Live on a Friday, where I'm OmniDog, joined as always on a Friday by Comics Guide, right there.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about, Lou? Question and answers and what we've been reading?
Yes, we are talking all about questions and answers, and I believe you as well, have a slew of a few comics that we've probably read this week. So a few things, or we're in the process of reading, that we could talk about tonight.
That is true. I reported on but didn't elaborate on something that I read on Monday. But eventually, yeah, I got a really short haircut. This is the shortest it's ever been. You picked up on it right away. I'm practically joining the armed forces with this haircut. It is really short. It like sticks straight up. It's so short. Which I guess is a thing, but I don't know if it's a thing for me. But either way, yeah, I did. Thank you for noticing. William Lee, TGIF. James, wondering where we were? Here we are. Yes, it is. Hey, Cage, how's it going? Good to see you. And happy Friday.
We've made it.
Says
you
Cage.
made it.
Yes, we made it. Oh, Jewish Dragons. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you. And Mink 0029. What is that profile pic? Is that a personal pic or is that a scene from a movie? I can't see what that is. OmniBros Live Patreon. That's right. Thank you, James. This Sunday at 1 p.m., we're going to be talking about Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
Yes.
And All-Star Superman. Both of those because All-Star Superman's still in print and Superior Foes is not, although you can read it, I believe, on the Marvel app. It's a pretty skinny omnibus. I think it only cost $50 when it came out. Now it'll be $150. Private First Class OmniDog reporting for duty. High and tight. That's right. High and tight. Yes, two great stories. Actually, I want to see how much that omnibus was. I need to pull it out and read it tomorrow.
I'm really excited about you joining the armed forces and teaming up with Goldie Hawn, by the way.
The funniest scene in that movie is when she got in trouble in I think isn't Eileen Brennan her commanding officer or something?
Oh, dude, I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid.
But it's early in the movie, and she is told to scrub the floors with her toothbrush. And so she's in the bathroom with her electric toothbrush going between the tiles and stuff with her electric toothbrush. That is a hilarious scene. You're welcome. And yeah, this book was $50. It's a pretty thin Omni, but it is an Omni. And $50. I'm surprised this hasn't been more requested to be back in print, because I think it's hilarious. It's one of the best things Nick Spencer ever did. Maybe because it's the only thing he's ever finished. Although, I guess he finished his run of Spider-Man, which I haven't read. So, yes, well, Lou is talking to his upper management.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Were you just talking about Superior Foes? I'm sorry, my wife asked me something.
Yeah, it was $50.
Oh, wow. That was $50?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. What a steal. Yeah. I'll have something.
Yeah,
I'll have something to say about that tonight, and we'll go more in depth on Sunday.
Yeah, 2016. So this has been out of print. This went out of print. I feel like it kind of went out of print fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Um, I'm surprised that it hasn't been uh, more requested on very fine conditions Marvel Omni reprint poll. Um,
Well, it was a book. Even when it was coming out, it was a book that if you were reading it, you loved it. But it was kind of an under the radar darling, I think, for a lot of fans. It was a book that never, I think, even today, never got. I guess we're just jumping into this. Okay, so
but
yeah,
it's
we're
fine.
both. No, no, you're good.
No, I
So
said it's fine. Go ahead, talk. What you want to say?
we're both rereading Superior Foes of Spider-Man for the Patreon show for this Sunday. I am 7, 8 issues into it right now, and I haven't read the book since it first came out, and I was reading it monthly. And what catches me off guard a lot is honestly just how well thought out and planned the whole series is. This doesn't feel like he was flying by the seat of his pants. It kind of actually feels like he had a roadmap for a lot of this because there's a lot of twists and turns that happen in this, and we're introduced. Look, I doubt unless you're the most hardcore Spider-Man fan, I doubt you know the majority of these villains. I mean, there's Shocker, who's probably the most well-known,
Yeah, you,
but Boomerang,
you know,
Beetle.
the only reason I know these characters besides reading this book is because I collected the action figures, and they're so funny. Because one of them carries Silvermane's uh, like little car. He has it, and I haven't uncovered it yet, but I know it's somewhere because those are really good action figures, and it's a funny group of people. But like Boomerang, I thought, uh, who are the other ones? Shocker, Boomerang.
Overdrive, Speed Demon. I love Speed Demon because he's probably the dumbest of the group. He's
Speed.
Yeah, Speed Demon's the one with the flame suit where he's like blue. He's the fast one, and he ends up breaking his leg early on, and he gets a roller skate attached to his leg. Yeah, so I'm going through and rereading this, and again, we'll get more into detail on Sunday when I finish my reread. But it's a brilliant little book, and it's funny as all get out. And you don't need to have a history with really any of these characters. Spider-Man's really not even in this book.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's called The Superior Foes of Spider-Man. He's not in it. And it's really just this weird slice of life kind of story about all these villains who they call themselves the Sinister Six, but there's really only 5 of them. and
Already.
they and they make a commentary in the very beginning going, yeah, but think about it, it'll be a mystery to everybody. They'll think, oh, there's 5 of them, but where's the secret 6th member? And everything. I'm just like, Jesus, guys. And they actually are pretty competent, but the thing is they keep getting in each other's way and they keep backstabbing each other throughout the whole thing. And you go, if you guys could just work together, you could probably be a pretty good team, but they can't do it.
Do they? I haven't read this in a little bit. Do they
Yeah.
even actually pull off any crimes in this, or are they always planning?
They pull off a few.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They pull off a few. But here's the thing. So this team is quote unquote led by Boomerang. Until he's hilariously voted out of the team within about 2 issues in. Um, yeah, he doesn't last long as the leader. And then they go on a. We'll get more into this on the Patreon stream. They go on a heist, and you soon find out Boomerang's really an unreliable narrator because the whole reason they're going on a heist is not the reason that they're going on the heist. You find out he was lying the whole time, but then it turns out the lie that he was telling was actually true. And my favorite part in the first few issues is Shocker finds out he's full of it, and and Boomerang just starts talking to him, and Shocker confesses, and Shocker, God bless him, Shocker is just a lovable idiot in this book. He's really not bright, but he's got kind of a solid heart on him a little bit. Um, and I love the fact that he talks to him and he's like, "Yeah, it's okay, Shocker. Don't worry. Yeah, we're friends, man. We had a really long history together. And you know what, man? It's all right that you know that I'm planning to backstab everybody and I'm lying. Don't worry, man. It's okay." And the issue ends with Boomerang walking away, and you go, "Okay, what's going on?" And he dumped Shocker in the trunk of a car, and he pushes the car into the water. He's like, "Well, that takes care of that problem." Oh my god. I love this book. I really
Yeah,
do.
you hit on a good point because I think it was under the radar when it came out, and then it was
Yeah.
under the radar um, as an omnibus, and then it sold out, and like in 2017 or 18, um, and it just never got the word of mouth. I bet a lot of current fans don't really even know about it.
Mm,
If you came into comics like during the pandemic or just after, you may not even know this omnibus, all 300 pages of it, exist. Uh,
right, right, right. And I
so,
think I think the disappointing thing is Nick Spencer got kind of a bad rap for his Spider-Man run. So I think some people will be a little bit hesitant to go back and check this out. But it's
oh,
genuinely hilarious.
yeah, I remember it being really funny.
Yeah,
What
no, dude. Oh,
what was the oh, well, first of all, if this book was in print, you could find it for from 30% off up to like maybe even 60 or 80% off if it was in the damaged section or one of the sales sections at instocktrades.com, where you can get those collected editions, as I said, 30 to 80%. Um, there is a loyalty discount. Don't forget, 2% loyalty discount gets tacked onto that. I didn't make an order this week, so I lost my discount. So sadly for me, no 2% loyalty discount, but $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping in the United States. I don't think, because they didn't tell us that they did, that the Manga Bros gave away the free $50 gift card courtesy of InStockTrades.com, um, worth $50 of credit. And what is today? April 11th. Oh, we're not even halfway through the month. And fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Of course, if we don't give it away, then those manga bros are going to give it away. Those those backwards reading manga bros will give it away. So think about that. We don't want them manga bros giving it away, do we?
no, no, come on. That's not fair. Why? Nobody watches that show. No, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love it.
Nobody watches it.
No, nobody watches.
Don't let the backwards boys take it again. That you make a good argument there. Um, Good day to you, Elon. Nice to see you. I have
Yeah.
Elon's watch on because it kind of went with my shirt. Although she has red lips and it's a red. I'm now, since upper management has taken over pretty much every facet of my life. Now I have to be careful that my Swatch watches actually match up with my shirts and outfits. And I'm like, what? So yeah, I had to match Elon's red swatch that he gave me nicely for my
Nice.
birthday. Thank you, Elon. Peace and love to you. I always loved Shocker's costume from when I was a kid reading a reprint of Spider-Man 46. William Lee, Superior Foes might be the funniest Big Two comic. I'm having a hard time thinking of what is better. What's the other funny Big Two comic that you and I both love?
Next wave.
Okay, what's the other funniest one? I,
Oh.
I, I'm wondering if maybe you told me about it, or I can't remember if I told you about it or you told me about it.
What's the
Um,
other?
it's by
Oh,
DC.
is it Jimmy Olsen?
Yeah, I
Yeah, no,
I think
yeah.
that I don't remember if you told me or I told you, but yeah, that's I forgot that Next Wave's funny. That's another one that's out of print.
Yeah, yeah. Jimmy Olsen, it's out of print?
Next Wave is, yeah.
Oh, Next Wave is. Yeah, Next Wave has been
Jimmy
out of print.
Olsen. I think Jimmy Olsen, which has art by the same Steve Lieber of Superior Foes. Um, what are some? Yeah, so I don't know if they're better, William Lee, but I think they're just as funny. What else is funny like this? I
Well,
mean, even image wise, or somebody. Sex Criminals is funny.
Sex Criminals is good. Chew. Chew is hilarious.
I haven't. I'm gonna have to read more of it. I think I've only read like the first collected edition.
Yeah,
Um,
I love Chew.
what else is funny then?
Chew.
Superior Foes.
Oh, here. Luckily, we have technology.
What? Funny. Oh, you're gonna Google funny books?
Yeah, because they're just, it's been fun. Bone. Bone's kind of lighthearted. It does get a little bit dark, though.
It gets. I think Bone gets a little dark.
Yeah.
There.
Sex.
I mean, that stupid rat creatures thing is hilarious, but that's like in the first two issues or something. Uh, Barnacle Blake says, speaking of Spider Man, my almost 11-year-old daughter is on Ultimate Spider Man Omnibus number 3, turned
Oh,
into her
wow.
favorite series, Ultimate Spider Man. Ultimate Spider Man from the Ultimate Universe. For some reason, I was thinking Miles Morales, but okay. That's awesome, Barnacle Blake. Um,
Ooh. Deadpool by Brian Posehn and
oh,
Gary Newman. That
yeah,
first art
that's
with
hilarious.
yeah, with the dead presidents. That's a great
Yeah,
art. Like
yeah.
Taft shows up and I think he's in a bathtub. So
Yeah, that's right. Because he had
he's,
the
he's,
big Herkin bathtub that he had.
he's huge.
Jason. Oh, it
Um,
placed 29th on the VFC. Okay, that's respectable then. Okay.
yeah, that's solid, but I don't know. I don't see it ever getting a reprint. Sadly, it's a title. Well, I mean, hell, Strike Force got an omnibus, so who knows? Anything can get anything at this point. Um, I think it should get a reprint. I think it should. Maybe a
I
limited, not
agree.
a huge reprint, but a limited, a limited run. I think it deserves a lot more love. Something I compare this honestly to something along the lines of Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, Jimmy Olsen. It's got it's got that kind of tone, but honestly, what I'm most surprised is it's also very crude. There's a lot of dirty jokes in there, but
Yeah.
it's not super like okay, that's just you're just being grotesque to be grotesque.
Yeah. Right.
The jokes are more situational in what they get into, and just the fact that these are genuinely, for the most part, not good people, and they admit it from the very beginning that they are not good people. Um, and you would expect that because they're villains. It,
They're not very good at villaining.
no, again. If they could get it together and work as a team, not bad. They could probably be maybe something along the lines of like a villain, a power pack, like a D-list villain group, like a D. Yeah, they could probably put something together, but they just keep screwing each other over in hilarious ways.
I haven't read it in a while, but I remember loving Hawkeye by Matt Fraction. Was that? I feel like that was funny because of the all the Russian tracksuit mafia always saying bro, bro.
Yeah,
Other stuff was funny, but was it as funny as these other books?
Hawkeye's weird, man, because Hawkeye's very slice of life.
Yeah,
It's really just dealing with Clint as Did he buy? Does he buy the building? No, I don't think he buys the building, right? Or he just lives in the building.
I think he just lives in it.
Right. As he lives in this building and stuff kind of just tends to happen to him, and he has to deal with the fact that the residents that live in this building, he starts growing attached to them, and they're getting pushed out because of this mob boss. And
Oh yeah,
there's Lucky the is it Lucky the pizza dog?
yeah. Lucky,
Yeah.
he's great. I have an
What
action figure of him. Actually, I have
now
it right here.
I am of the record that I really love half of that book. I don't care for the Kate Bishop in California stuff.
Oh, I don't even remember that. I mean, now I remember it. I need to go back and reread that.
Yeah, that second half of that book for me was really a lot weaker than the first half. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, okay, Kate Bishop's an awesome character, and I love that she's getting a lot more screen. She's got a lot more screen time in the Hawkeye TV show, but I kind of am more interested in what's going on with Clint in the building and all these tracksuit mafia guys and stuff like that. And it deviates from that for something like that, and then eventually does come back around to it. Um, and I think that stuff is the weakest part, and an otherwise very very spectacular book. I think in a lot of ways also that we see that the influence from that book is felt even today. A lot of comic book writers now tend to do these slice of life stories with these smaller characters. We started getting stuff like She-Hulk,
Yeah.
which She-Hulk was always awesome, but we started getting things like her slice of life story where she's what was that run where she kind of lives in a building, she works with Howard the Duck, or Howard the Duck lives in a building with her.
Uh, Wait, Howard the Duck. Well, the current series by Rainbow Rowell is a slice of life thing where
That's
there's
good
like
too.
ladies fight club,
Yeah.
and then there's also book club. And it's all interesting and
Yeah.
funny, but not laugh out loud funny. But it makes me smile. I can't remember the Dan. Was it Dan? I don't think Dan Slott wrote Howard the Duck. Let's see.
So we started getting a lot more of those, and I think that's really the lasting impact of Hawkeye. Is we started seeing more. Zdarsky wrote Howard.
Uh, but did and She Hulk was in the Howard the Duck book.
Was it? What am I thinking about?
I don't know.
I think she opens up her own law firm. It's in a building, and I think Howard the Duck is in the same building. Why am I struggling with this one? It's not the Rainbow Row one. Is it? Is it the Charles Soule run?
Oh boy, that's a good question. I don't
I actually
know.
like that book.
I did too, except for the art. Oofa,
You didn't care for it? I thought it was okay.
the art. Oh my
Yeah,
god! And Charles Soule, let me get that.
I didn't
Wow,
hate it. I
pulled
didn't
me
hate the
right
art.
out of the book. She
It's not the prettiest book, but I didn't mind the art too much.
Now, where's my She-Hulk section? Here it is, the complete collection. Mm, mm. Uh, okay, Lou.
Okay, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. It looks like that monster that Geo used
Yeah, yeah, we didn't
a
get a
few weeks ago.
monster here.
Yeah,
Um,
Jesus. All right, you win on that one. I can't defend that. That's
it's
pretty
not
bad.
too bad because it is a really good run, and it's got Tigra and Hellcat
Yeah,
and all these other great characters, and the writing's really good. Um, but it's not the yeah it does kind of pull me out of it some of the,
yeah.
but it is also kind of funny, this book. Um, Squirrel Girl, which I own and still haven't read. I'm willing to read it because I did buy it on
Hmm.
air. Yeah, we're going over a recent read right now, which is Superior Foes. Darkwing Duck is funny. I've never seen Darkwing Duck, and I've never read it either. Um, Here's Batmantha. How's it going, Batmantha? I've heard people say, yeah, Hawkeye. Yeah, I think that's funny. We need to help Geo get. Oh, I don't disagree with you, but I just don't know that there's enough. I want Inhumans, but I feel like Marvel's just burying them. I mean, Strike Force Morituri, that's not fair to have that book. Um, I agree. Well, this is Lou, but okay, that's close enough. Geo, Lou,
We're both Puerto Rican. We were both born on the same day. Yeah, that works.
the second half of Hawkeye I thought was weaker. Hawkeye was sitcom funny, yeah. Um, Now, Howard the Duck by Zdarsky was genuinely, I think, um, that was funny too. I don't. What when you said that Spencer got Spencer caught grief for his Spider-Man run, was I haven't read that. Is there a specific thing or that people didn't dig with it, or what was the issue there?
So the thing that I keep hearing about that run, because I started it and I just did not jive with it at all. I didn't like it. And I've heard, but I only read the first few issues, and I heard it just kept getting worse and worse.
Hmm.
The thing that I keep hearing is there was a lot of editorial interference. That a lot of stuff felt like it was shoehorned into the book that really shouldn't have been there. And I think one of the things was when Miss Marvel died, and they just brought her back about 2 or 3 issues later, or something like that. I
That
think that
was
was shoehorned.
Nick Spencer? I thought that was the current one with the
Didn't they? Maybe I'm getting
I
mixed
think
up
it was
here.
the current one because that's when they made her a mutant. They
Who did
took
the current run of Spider-Man? Not the one that is right now. Maybe I'm getting him mixed up with somebody else.
I uh um uh shoot because I like his work in other stuff, but
I think I'm getting him mixed up then.
yeah, he might be. Oh, Zeb Wells.
Zeb Wells. Okay, my mistake.
Okay.
Yes, it was Zeb Wells' run. Okay, yes, it wasn't
So
Nick Spencer. I take
was
that
there
back.
okay, so there wasn't an issue with Nick Spencer's
I don't.
run? I
I
haven't
don't
read it.
recall.
I might own both Omnis, but because
Yeah,
eventually someday I'm going to get caught up on Spidey.
yeah. So Zeb Wells' Spider-Man run I've heard was plagued by editorial interference. I read the first few issues and I just did not vibe with it. I didn't care for it.
I think
You
you
know,
kept I think you kept reading it and kept you had a weekly complaint about it
it
that
was
you
oh
liked.
my god that book. Which is kind of funny because I'm going to be talking about Amazing Spider-Man #1 later tonight with Joe Kelly and how I
Mm,
feel about that book. Stay tuned for that. It's kind of a crying shame because Zeb Wells is genuinely a talented writer, but everything that I kept hearing about as the series went on is like, yeah, but editorial is like kind of shoehorning stuff in, like the death of Miss Marvel and everything, and it's a crying shame, man. It's a shame, but we got some good stuff later on, so we'll talk about that later.
okay. I really do enjoy Slice of Life stories. I'm probably going to get Rainbow's She Hulk Omni. I am too, even though you're welcome. I have all the trades. It is genuinely wholesome, warm, and like a fuzzy blanket on a cold day with a cup of tea and a I'll say a donut because that's what I'd rather have right now is a donut. Cookies, yeah. Um, Hawkeye Run was so amazing me more because of the David Aha art. Yeah. Oh yeah, Gwenpool. That it was. I don't know if it was laugh out loud funny, but it made me smile throughout the whole thing. And I think that might be out of print too.
Gwenpool?
Yeah.
I've never read Gwenpool.
Oh, it's so good. I
I
love
know
that book.
you keep talking it up. I know.
Yeah. That was one where I sent my minions after VFC to force him to have it printed every Saturday. They were there in force on his channel, insisting on Gwenpool. And I salute my viewers for making Gwenpool happen.
Yes, yes, we could get that. I'm glad it happened. We could also get a reprint of Superior Foes of Spider-Man, but Jess, that would mean we would get one less X-Men omnibus. And who?
I don't think anything's keeping us from getting one less. There's nothing but X-Men Omnis coming out.
Hey, people keep buying them, so they keep cranking them out. I guess. Who knows?
Um, Editorial always likes to shoehorn themselves into mainline Spider-Man. Rah.
That's a shame.
Hi, YP. Welcome. Good to see you. I seriously enjoyed Zeb Wells' Avenging Spider-Man. Avenging Spider-Man. Was that the Krakoa one with Nightcrawler?
I don't know.
Oh no, that was Uncanny Spider-Man. What was Avenging Spider-Man?
I don't know.
I don't know that I have that one. Avenging Spider-Man.
So I've got a question for you. Since we're kind of on the Spider-Man subject,
Sure.
and the new film is going to be called Brand New Day. How do you feel about John Romita? Was it John Romita? Damn it, I'm having a tough time tonight. I barely slept at all. What was the author of that run?
New Day, wasn't that the Brain Trust thing with Dan Slott and the other writers?
Oh, he wrote for Battle. I think it was Battlestar Galactica. Was it?
Oh, JMS.
Thank you. Again, I barely slept last night. JMS. How do you feel overall about JMS's run on Spider-Man?
Okay, that was before Brand New Day.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I famously haven't finished it because the first Omni ends with that hideous retcon with Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy.
I forgot. I'm sorry. I deliberately did not mean to lead you to that. By the way, I forgot about that.
um, yeah, that was like 4 years ago that Omnicat and I were reading it, and it stopped us both dead in our tracks. She at the time she had both Omnis and I had them in oversized hardcover, and that was such a, I can't remember if it's a punch in the gut or a punch in the nose or both, because yeah, because I was like, okay, I'm not reading any more of this. This is ridiculous. And at the time, the Minister of Comics, Taylor, was reading JMS's autobiography, and he said that Marvel Editorial forced that on him.
Yeah.
I think his idea was to have the kids be from Peter and Gwen. And then I feel like Nick Spencer's run, they retcon the retcon. That doesn't mean that image isn't still burned in my eyes, because there was when for every OmniBros there was like a viewer Norman Osborn's O face, and that would be his profile pic.
Oh,
And then it was brought up all the time.
I forgot all about that. That was in that run.
But JMS did have the spider totem.
Yes, he did.
And Moreland, and I thought that was really great. The introduction of the spider totem, and the whole idea behind that, and Moreland and everything. I thought that was really good.
Something that Dan Slott would use a lot for the Spider-Verse stuff later on.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Those are site for Avenging Spider-Man. Okay, wait. Let me look that up.
And maybe somebody in the chat can help me out, because it seems like the consensus is that it's a very, very, very good run that once again gets mired by editorial interference, and they drop the ball at the very end, because a lot of fans really liked married Peter Parker, and they wanted to see him grow up and stuff like that, but they're like, nah, let's hit the hard reset where we're gonna just make him a kid again.
Oh, and was that One More Day?
That was One More Day, yes.
Okay. Yeah, which for some reason got a gallery edition.
That was One More Day? use the font stuff.
Is that was the reset that came after that? I think.
Yeah, it was not looked on too fondly,
No,
even by today's
everybody
standards.
hated that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, and for the most part, for whatever reason, Marvel is on this kick of like, nope, Spider-Man's got to always be young. He's got to have the Parker look, which is why I think it's kind of refreshing what Hickman is doing in Ultimate Spider-Man, where it's like, no, he's he's starting his trip as Spider-Man in his 30s and 40s. He's older, and he's just starting to get the hang of things because he missed out on being Spider-Man as a kid, and now he's got a family. He's got 2 kids, and what's that like? We finally get to see that.
yeah. The Bozo site says Avenging Spider-Man's out of print and pricey. I don't think I've ever read this. I can tell that's a Terry Dodson cover. Um, let's see if I can. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
The bozos. I love it, guys.
I know. So wait, Avenging Spider-Man is. Oh, okay. He's hiding behind Captain Marvel. That's funny. Um, this is funny. The Omnipup Intifada really did come through with that Gwen Mommy. Good word, next Imagine. Yeah, that they really did. They were like bombarding VFC every Saturday until he relented and asked for it to be printed. Intifada. Beyonder couldn't stop the X-Men Omnis from being printed. And here's Quack. Welcome, Quack.
Hey guys.
Um, well, it looks like I'm out of luck for Avenging Spider-Man. Oh, that's over 10. That's almost like 13, 14 years old.
You know, Kane, thank you so much because I'm just gonna go with bozos from now on. I kind of
Yeah,
like.
you can thank me for misunderstanding Bezos for Bozos, and it's just stuck. Yeah,
That's canon. That's gonna
yeah,
be it from
that
now
is
on.
canon. 100%.
Thank you, Kane. Yeah. So it's really cool because well, it's not cool. It's interesting to kind of look back on some of these old stories and how much they're hated because I think there's a lot of revisionist history for certain things, namely Star Wars. We've talked about that on here, where it it's really, I think, when what you grew up with that has a huge influence on what you like.
Yeah.
Star Wars, I think, being primarily something that, look, man, I was there. Okay, a lot of y'all online can go, the prequels weren't bad. George Lucas knew what he was doing. You
Mm.
weren't fucking there. I was there day one. I was there as a kid walking out of episode one going, well, the pod racing was cool. Darth Maul was kind of cool. And the less we speak about the second one, the Attack of the Clones, the better.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, Attack of the Clones is
Mm. Mm.
horrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's still terrible. It I'm kind of curious if maybe there'll be a generation of people that, well, probably not, because it's pretty much hated. That'll go, you know what? It wasn't that bad. I'm with the reset. I'm kind of glad that they kept them as a kid.
Oh, I thought we were still on Star Wars. What are we talking
No.
about?
For one more day or whatever it is. I'm
Oh
trying to
no.
relate the revisionist history of Star Wars with one more day, but I don't think it's gonna have the same hit. I don't think a lot of people look back on that even now and go, yeah, they dropped the ball there.
Mm. I thought that was funny. You got a gallery edition. Right. Don't forget to hit the like button. And yeah, I don't know if Avenging Spider-Man's on Unlimited. I don't have my iPad with me.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know that we're ever going to get justice for Geo Quack. He's quite salty about it, and I don't blame him.
They printed everything else that's notable and omnibus at this point.
Strike Force Morituri. Come
Yeah,
on.
Rom. We got Rom before.
Well, I think Rom and uh, Micronauts were both. They were. I don't know that they were wanted enough for 4 different covers,
Mm.
but but I think people have been asking for those two for a long time. But the fact that they just erased Ms. Marvel from being an Inhuman and making her a mutant, that does not bode well for the future of Inhumans at Marvel. I feel like they're, after leaning into him like around 2017, 2018, like they did, I feel like they just abandoned him after that.
And a little bit of chicanery going. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Because there's such a huge history with the Inhumans, but it just kind of seems like Marvel doesn't know what to do with them with the X-Men, and they really keep just pumping out and focusing more on X-Men stuff because they're like, well, X-Men sells, guys. Um,
Yeah.
I really so look, if we ever get the Inhumans back in the MCU, I really just expect them to just fold it all in and go, yeah, they're just kind of an offshoot of the X-Men. They're different.
I loved seeing Black Bolt in the Multiverse of Madness movie, the Doctor Strange movie. That's funny that we saw all those characters in Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
But I did love seeing him in that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I did read. Okay, first I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I am reading um, Batman by Tynion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
Punchline is interesting as a character. I I think Punchline's interesting. This book is actually not as sort of meh as everybody's telling you. I read all this. I read just under half of it last night. Um,
Why are you lying to people? Don't do that to these
I
people.
think Tinian's run it's a lot better than I feel. I mean, it's very well set up. It has a great um, for the first part anyway. I'm just now into Joker War, but the setup I thought was a really interesting idea. That the main conceit of the first part, which involves a pact that Catwoman, Joker, Penguin, Catwoman, and Riddler all made years ago before Catwoman fell in love with Batman, and it comes to fruition. Um, I thought that was really well thought out by Tinian,
Mhm.
and it. I will say, maybe I put. Maybe I'm too big of a nerd, but I was genuinely nervous when I was reading the setup for this book. I am aware that these are fictional characters. I'm aware that none of this actually happened. But also, I think that speaks to how well it's written. The fact that I was like nervous and uncomfortable reading this book. So I'm right in the middle of Joker War. Um, so it's just now happening. And um, I also have a couple other Joker. I have Joker War Saga, and then I have Nightwing and Batgirl Joker War, which I'm going to read with this.
Okay.
Um, but Punchline is. I won't go too much into her because even though you haven't read about her,
Don't need to. It's a lame gimmick.
just get. You're cheating on Harley with Punchline. I just said she was interesting.
How
God,
dare you?
boy, I'm catching crap. Just gets a new haircut, and now he loves Punchline. What next? Beyond Comics. Knew you'd like it, Jess. You were right. Beyond Comics and I are gonna. Once I'm done with this, and I read the Joker War saga, I'm gonna have
Mm.
Beyond Comics on my show, and we'll talk about it. So be sure to tune in. And I'm gonna call it "Why Jess Loves Punchline." Now, no. um, that comment that Omni by Tynion is great, but his Detective Comics run is way better. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a Bat Family.
Yeah.
That's the best Batwoman Omni we've got, just about. That I don't disagree with that, and I'm not halfway through this yet. Uh, but I was engrossed enough that I had to stop myself at like 11:30 at night and say, "You got to get to bed, or you're going to be up till 2 a.m. reading this." Oh, Doc. First punchline next. Jess will be buying Shush statues.
Shush. What's...
Shush is the new Hush character in.
Oh God, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I, is that in Batman or is that or is that in a different run? Where does Shush appear? I remember we were making a lot of fun of it, but I don't think she's in Zdarsky's run, and she wasn't in Rom V's Detective. Um, you're lucky that Bar's on vacation. You're never going to hear the end of it after Passover. I was going to have her on tomorrow, but she said I can't. It's Passover, and you're probably right. Punchline is fine. People are just hating Tinian's run to be trendy. Yeah, I don't see why. I, I mean, Aku was right. Tinian's Detective from Rebirth is the superior comic, but this Batman is very entertaining, very interesting. I like it a lot, and I look forward to everything that I'm reading. I'm also looking forward to the book's called The Joker, but it's really apparently more of a Detective Jim Gordon story. I'm going to read that too. I'm going to try and get all caught up on Batman like I am with Superman. But I don't get I don't think it's hate, but I don't get the distaste for this Tinian Batman. I'm really enjoying it. Shush is in Batman and Robin. Okay, there we go. Doug, good evening, fine folks. Just finished after work bonding with the zoo. Skin knee, swollen lip, at least one puncture wound. Oh my gosh, your dogs went after you?
Jesus, man.
Those good times. You are doing the Lord's work, taking care of all those animals, Doug. He's an animal rescuer. I wish I could come adopt the dog you named Jester. That dog is really sweet looking.
Look, man, I've told my wife this. If, Lord forbid, she goes before me, my kids will know where I'm at, but I'm just going to probably get a piece of land and I'll have a bunch of dogs on there and I'll be good for the rest of my life. I don't need much else, really. And
wait,
most of y'all will never.
If your wife goes before you.
Yeah, Lord forbid. I've already told my wife. I'm like, I'll probably just get a piece of land and just have a place there and have a bunch of dogs. And I'd be happy.
Oh, I've actually thought about that, and
Yeah.
I don't think I get a piece of land, but I would definitely get a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'd be fine with. I'm having trouble not getting a dog right now. But upper management is like we maybe in a few years we can still travel and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, travel. I don't even want to leave the house, and so Jester plays dirty. LOL. Sneak attacks ankles. Yeah, right on, Jester. Get after Doug.
What are you thinking? A little Pomeranian, a little Chow Chow, a Chihuahua. What are we?
I think like a Cocker Spaniel.
Okay,
That's
good.
where we got That's where we got Holly from. She was a rescue,
Nice.
and we could rescue another Cocker Spaniel. I thought she was sweet. She was a rescue, so she had problems. But we figured them out.
Don't get a Chow Chow. That's all I'm gonna say.
Chow Chow. What even is that?
Oh, they are Satan's little helper. Is what they are. They are assholes.
Chow Chow. What have you experienced a Chow Chow?
As a kid, dude.
Oh.
Chow Chows were mean. Yeah, Chow Chows are just. I love all dogs. And I firmly believe there's really no bad dogs, just bad owners. But
Yeah, oh, I agree.
Chow Chows are assholes. Every Chow Chow I've ever met. Pomeranian, honestly, I've always wanted a lab. I've always wanted a Labrador,
Yeah.
but they shed a lot.
Same with golden retrievers. Those
Yes.
things shed all over the place.
Yeah. I've always wanted just a black lab, but we just need the
Yeah,
space for it. So maybe one day.
those are sweet dogs. And same with golden retrievers. Those guys are famously sweet. Um,
Um, right. So
so
Reed,
so
sorry.
yeah, I read this, have been reading this, and I'm gonna have Beyond Comics on. I think I can probably finish this if I keep. I have an awful lot of other books that are really good that I'm like I think I told I think I described Zatanna, Bring Down the House, and then Batman Dark Age. I talked about those Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Zatanna is awesome. Um, and I think there's a larger thing going on with Batman Dark Age. I need to reread Superman Space Age, but I think I don't know what Wonder Woman's going to be called. Golden Age because of her golden lasso of truth. But Wonder Woman's the next one they're doing, and there's something that happens in this book at the end that makes me feel like there's an overall connection between the two because they have different endings that are sort of connected. So I don't I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to read these, but I'm gonna have to read especially the endings. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to read Space Age and Dark Age again.
It's funny you
Uh,
bring up Space Age.
Sorry. Oh gosh, you'll love it.
Yeah, I'm talking about that in a little bit.
Oh, you are.
Yeah,
Well,
I started it this week.
oh, you did.
I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
finished it, but I have started it.
Okay. Um, the, both of them, I think, are going to be on my books of the year qualifiers. They're in my top 10 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Age and Bring Down the House. And this has Constantine in it as an ex boyfriend. And he's actually a good guy, which is, you know, not in character, but it was refreshing to see. He kind of looks out for Zatanna, and I like that. So both of those books are really good. Fun fact: the creator of Wonder Woman also invented the polygraph. Interesting.
That's true.
Just the lasso of truth. Wow. Interesting.
Since you brought it up, I have started Superman Space Age.
Okay.
I did not know because I went into this blind. It was a period piece. I didn't know that,
Yeah,
but it
they
makes sense with the name.
yeah,
Yeah.
they both start. They both end when Crisis on Infinite Earths happens,
Oh, cool.
1985. That's why. That's why you'll see in Superman Space Age that 1985 is the when the book ends. It's the same for Dark Age with Batman.
Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really digging this a lot. It's again, I'm pretty early on. I'm only I think 2 or 3 issues into it, and I really love the fact that it kind of recontextualizes Pa Kent. And I
yeah,
don't know if this was something that is from the older comics, the Golden Age stuff, but it it seems like it's really exploring what it means to be a hero and what the context of a hero is and what the weight of being a hero is. And it starts out with Pa Kent, and you find out Pa Kent was a military vet, and he fought in World War II, and he's got a lot of baggage from it, and he's kind of had to deal with it and stuff like that.
yeah.
It's really really good stuff. I mean, this is written by what's his face? I'm having trouble with names tonight.
Mark Russell.
By Mark Russell, who Mark Russell for me has always been kind of the guy that he does a lot of social commentary, especially with the Flintstones, and he did the not Pink Panther, the
Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss book, and he's always to me been kind of a social commentary guy. This is more straight through so far of like, yeah, what does it mean to be a hero, especially in this time period? And it's not a, it's kind of a pseudo origin a little bit because he does kind of go back to Superman's early years, but it's also set in the 1960s. I love this so far. Not only that, Mike Allred's art, good lord, Mike Allred is always good. That man, I've never seen a piece of art by Mike Allred and go, yeah, it's not that good. He's always been great to me.
Same. Yeah, I've got them both right here because I was contemplating what video I could make out of them, but I haven't drawn a conclusion yet. But
Hmm.
um, but yeah, this I think the best part, since you're reading it, I think the best parts of, actually, it happens in both books, is not only seeing the art, but then the little the real meat of the stories kind of happens in the caption boxes. That's
Yeah.
where you get Russell's philosophy and his philosophy on what it is to be a person and how it is a person wants to be remembered and how a person wants to just say, I was here. That's very much um, uh, same with Superman and Batman.
Hmm.
That the and I don't know, you haven't got to the part about Lois's father.
No, 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 no. The
Okay,
last thing that I got into is that it's Lex Luthor, and he's at the Pentagon, and he's pretty much trying to convince them on how they can use military force and the encroaching nuclear destruction that's coming our way and stuff like that. It's there's social commentary here, but I don't think it's as on in your face as it is in the other books.
right. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it's subtle, but um, I don't want to spoil it for you, but Lex is this is like the most sociopathic, psychopathic Lex that I think I've read.
Mm, mm-hmm.
The way and I'm trying to think of the full. Where's Next Imagina? Next Imagina. What's the definition of a sociopath? Off the top of your head. Come on, I know you're in the chat. Just what's a sociopath? Because he he's completely amoral in this book.
Mm,
That's all I'll say. Um, and I think you will really enjoy giving yourself a little breathing room once you're done with this, and then reading Batman Dark Age,
okay.
and then seeing if you can, like I can, like I'm trying to figure out. It feels like there's a connection that Russell and Allred are going for,
Okay.
but I don't know. But I'm also not sure. After reading Batman Dark Age, it's got a different ending um, overall than Superman does. So I'm wondering where it's going to end up. I don't know. They're both really good books, and um, I think you'll find the social commentary stuff is more about people's. It's more existential. I think it's more
Mm,
like people wanting to be remembered and what it means to be a person and what the greater good is and
yeah.
what are you contributing to society and how can you be a better person, and that's all in those little caption boxes.
Yeah.
um, but I don't know, I'm interested in your thoughts when you finish it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you pointed it out. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'll download what's Batman Dark Age? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Superman Space Age had 3 books, and I feel like Dark Age may have had a few more. Had 6 books.
Okay, I'll download those tonight. I'll go ahead and get those tonight, and I think I'll read them back to back and see if I can notice anything they tie in. So they both of them take place pre. Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, and they end at Infinite Crisis.
Okay, so maybe there's some stuff in there, and it's both Mark Russell.
And Michael Allred and Laura Allred.
There's
Yeah,
got to
and
be some.
there's going to be a third one that they're working on now, Wonder Woman, and I'm just guessing that it's called Golden Age because of the golden lasso of truth, but I could be completely wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, yeah, I will definitely do that. I'll check those out
Awesome.
and see. Yeah, Mark Russell is just super talented as a writer. Really next level stuff. Guy is brilliant. Um, and I'm looking forward to finishing this. Again, I'm really digging the hell out of it. It's just not what I expected, which is good, which is really good. It just caught me off guard from the beginning. The setting, the tone of it, what he's trying to say, the just all of it really caught me off guard, and I'm digging it. I'm liking it a lot. We'll see how it ends.
That's good. I'm glad you're digging it. It was. I think it was my book of the year in wait 2025. I think 2023. I
Mm.
think it was my book of the year. Last year, I think it was Sherlock Holmes.
I
Um,
gotta read Sherlock Holmes.
oh, it's so good.
That.
Um, I even got after I did something on Instagram and I I made my video on it and I heard from the artist of the book that they're working on a new Sherlock Holmes. And I thought that was pretty cool that the artist reached out to me. Because I don't get, besides Michael Allred, nobody else has ever reached out to me. I'm not somebody that, I'm not a bigger channel that a lot of, would get a lot of creator
Mm-hmm.
interaction with, like Very Fine gets that, but he's more dialed into the industry and he's got 120,000 subscribers or whatever. So you'd assume that for him, but um, yeah, so that was cool. And then I just got somebody. What was the other book that I just loved? Oh, Hard Bargain. The artist contacted me about that. That was the book that was a humanoids book about the 1940s private investigator of the supernatural in LA.
Mm. Okay.
That's a really good book that you should dig.
Hard Bargain.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
humanoids book.
I'll add it to the list.
Okay.
Um, I also read this one's gonna make James Abel pretty happy. I read, and this is only the first issue, but I read Storm number one.
Oh, yeah. James has been banging the table on that book.
James has been telling us both that we should read Storm for a while. There was a lot of expectations with this because I love James. He's a sweet guy and everything like that. And I got to tell you, James, yeah, you delivered on this. It's really good.
There's pause. I was like, what's he going to say?
No, it's very, 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 very good.
And you've just
Um,
read the first issue?
I only got a chance to read issue one. I wanted to get
Wow.
it in before we did the show tonight, so I
Hmm.
literally just read it like a few minutes before we went live. Um, wow, that is an impressive number one issue.
Who's the
Uh, it is. I don't even know who this is, honestly. I don't think I've ever heard this writer's name. Nurewa Ayodele.
I don't know that writer's name either.
I've never heard this writer before. This is a really okay. It starts off with Storm, and basically she's about to announce that she's going to run for office. She's going to run for a government position, and it flashes back to a few days before where she's assisting in this town where apparently a nuclear bomb is going off. We end up finding out that it's not really a nuclear bomb. It's a kid that's coming into his own powers. He's a mutant and
Oh,
he's blown up the entire town. And Storm is able to stop him from causing more destruction. And then it flashes forward back to it jumps back in time a lot. This is a really impressive issue, if only because they are setting up a lot of story in just about 33 pages of a comic book. There's about 3 or 4 story beats on here that I'm like, okay, well that's interesting. Oh wow, that's interesting. Oh wow, that's really interesting. And then you get to the final issue, and I just went, oh shit, that came almost out of nowhere, but okay, I'm really sold on that. Um, yeah, dude,
How many issues are there? Do you know yet?
I think there's 7 issues.
Oh, okay.
If you are a fan of Hickman's Avengers run, there is something, and I think it's from his run, that comes almost out of nowhere at the end of this issue that made me go, oh, we're going big. We're going very big, way bigger than what I thought.
Huh.
Outside of um Absolute Wonder Woman, this might be the most impressive #1 issue I've read this year.
Oh, okay. Wow. Because I, everybody has agreed that that Wonder Woman is the strongest of the three. Like everybody likes all three, but they say Wonder Woman is way by far the best.
Oh, it's not even close. Yeah, no, Wonder Woman's the best one. Um, but outside of Absolute Wonder Woman, to me, this is the most impressive #1 I've read this year. It's very impressive, if only because of how much they don't waste time. They don't waste any time on this, and they really go for it. I am very, very impressed. Not only that, the art on this book is spectacular.
That's what James just said. Lucas Wernick arts is amazing.
Dude, you could pull up some pages online and we could share them. It is gorgeous. It is a
Okay.
beautiful book.
Let me see if I have the technology here. Let's see. Uh, Lucas Wernick Storm. Okay. Images.
This is a good book, man. James delivered. No, this is a very good book. I'm very excited to see where this story goes.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find some representative. Whoa. That's the art? Wow. Okay, wait. Let me see if I can share this. I mean, I know I can share it. Let me see if I can actually do it. Lucas Wernick. Can you see that?
See if you can pull up some interiors.
Oh, that's not an interior? Okay.
Man.
Um,
Here we go. There's one right there.
there? Uh, are you seeing that? Let's see.
It's not popping up too well.
Oh, okay. I'll make it bigger. Whoops. Wait a minute. What just happened?
Well, I mean,
What?
I've got my tablet. I could probably show it from here.
No, I see. I see what happened.
There we go.
Okay. Wait.
Go ahead and just highlight.
Oh, damn it! It said share this tab instead. I'm not good. Okay, that looks better. So that was the issue. I didn't think I could do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, the art. This is the first, literally the first page. No, this is one of the first pages that you see of the book, and it's like this all the way through. It really is just spectacularly drawn. I am impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, James, good call. This is very, very good. Yeah, I think the first trade might have already come out, or it's about to come out. I'm recommending everyone pick this up, even if you have really, they catch you up to speed pretty quickly.
Whoop. Wait a sec.
And this is a team I've never heard of.
I've heard of Lucas Wernick, but I have not heard of Mareoa Ayodele. I found some other interior art. Storm page. Let's see if this shows up. How about that? Okay, let me see if I can blow that up a little bit. She's what is going on here? She's freezing out Doctor Doom.
I don't know. I haven't gotten there. I'm still on issue one. Yeah, I'm
Issue
getting the rest
five.
of these tonight, and I'm reading them over the weekend. It's so damn good.
Oh, This is Storm issue 5. She's up in the
I think even I
clouds with
think
Doctor Doom.
Maniac Matt, if I'm not mistaken, even sung the praises of this book on the Patreon stream.
Okay. Yeah, Maniac reads lots of single issues. Storm's character design is amazing. Her hair is almost a separate character. And here is Next Imaginaut showing up for me. Thank you. A sociopath is someone who is essentially an environmentally conditioned psychopath. For instance, someone given to some array and intensity of psychopathic traits, but not hardwired as one, and thus still disposed to fundamental empathy and capacity for considerable and meaningful therapeutic reform beyond mere symptom management. Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Okay, well, then I think Lex is just a psychopath because there's no way he can be reformed. Yeah, that was a good definition. Thank you, Next. I knew you were the guy that asked. Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about Dark Patterns too. Batman Dark Patterns. I've been hearing a lot of good buzz about this book.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. So the next thing that I want to share this week, I read the first issue of Joe Kelly's new Spider-Man run. Literally, issue number one came out this week.
Okay.
It, look, it's good. It's very good. I mean, it's Spider-Man, and it's not bad. The thing is, it's not great. It's a solid start. I'll say this. It didn't blow my socks off. But it's a very solid start, and it's really got a good solid hook to kind of get you into the issue, and it's a great jumping on point. I'm not going to lie, it just fills you in real quick. But I kind of feel like I've read this before. I kind of feel like I've because it literally starts out with Peter Parker down on his luck once again, and now he's looking for work once again, and he's in a situation where he can't find a job because he's Spider-Man again once again. I'm like, okay, guys, how many times are we going to go through this as a character? And I get comics are they recycle a lot of the same things because you get a new writer, so they kind of want to start over and start the spin. And again, this is only issue number one. It wasn't a bad first issue by all means, but it just feels more of the same. And I'm like, I kind of wanted a little bit more, especially with everything that's going on with Ultimate Spider-Man. And yeah, it's Ultimate Spider-Man has the advantage that it's literally a new universe, so they got to play a little bit more. But it's a good first issue. I mean, there's a really awesome fight with Rhino in here that's drawn by Pepe Larraza, and it
Ooh,
looks fantastic.
he's
It
great.
really does. He's great. Pepe Larraza is fantastic. He's so good in this book too. And we're introduced. So the big thing for me, the big hook, is really at the ending where we get a revelation and we get a reveal that Norman Osborn is actually trying to go straight. He's trying to become a good guy. And he holds a press conference and he's like, look, I made a lot of mistakes. I want to clean up my act. I want to be better. And that's really the big hook of it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Do you
And
believe it? Or has enough of it been written for you to make a judgment yet?
he seems genuine. He's attacked at a press conference and he doesn't kill the guy. He just kind of like hurts him a little bit. But
Attacked, like physically.
yeah, yeah, he was. So the whole thing is he's about to. He was even going to announce that he's going to resign from Oscorp, but he's attacked by the guy, and then he realized, oh, I have a responsibility to make amends for all the bad stuff that I've done. I'm like, oh, okay, let's see where this goes. The only real drawback is that the backup issue, which is actually the most interesting stuff, which is the Osborne stuff, it's drawn by John Romita Jr. I'm just
Mm.
like, recent John Romita Jr. I'm just like, okay. But that's only like the last two or three pages of this book. I'm not a fan of recent John Romita Jr. Granted, it's not bad here. It's pretty solid, but yeah, let's let Pepper LaRaza handle the bulk of this book, and we'll be better off. Solid first issue. Nothing amazing for me so far, but I'm gonna keep reading it and see where it goes. It's pretty good.
Um, I haven't. I agree that Slott's Superior Spider-Man um, was really great. And it's been since it came out in singles since I've read it.
Hmm.
But is that what was that Slott's run where Peter was like the CEO of a science like a like a high tech
Hmm.
company?
Hmm.
Okay, so to
Yeah.
me that's interesting that he was not down on his luck, that he was a CEO and stuff. I
Yeah.
thought that was really interesting.
And they reference that here because he's going through a job interview, and one of the guy goes, "So wait, you were a CEO of a tech
Oh,
company, and you let the company fall apart?" And the and he goes, "Well, yeah, there's actually kind of a long story." And then pretty much they shut down. He shuts the interview down because he's like, "I lost billions because of you, you asshole." And
oh
that's how the that's literally how the job interview goes for Peter. And he's like, "Oh crap!" And he walks out of the job interview.
that's kind of funny. I like
It's
that.
Again, it's not bad. It's a solid first issue. It really is. I think most people that are jumping onto this, it's a great jumping on point, and it's good. Joe Kelly is usually really a really good writer. I'm not dogging this. It was just a good first issue.
Yeah, maybe that's what we need. Just something decent after the egregious, um, not Enron. There is Roxxon in that
Yeah,
universe. I remember that.
yeah.
Um, I feel like Namor was the CEO of Roxxon or something. Uh, I don't know if Batmantha's still in the chat, but I was really surprised to hear that she and I were talking one time, and she really disliked Deadpool by Joe Kelly. And I was like,
Um,
really? Gosh, I found that book. That's another book that I thought was really funny. But no, that just shows how different people's tastes are. She really didn't care for it. I'm like, whoa, I thought everybody loved it, but no. And so, peace and love. Everybody's got a different opinion of stuff. Uh, yeah, I loved uh, Joe Kelly's Deadpool, and I also loved. I think this was a book we got free from IST back in the day. Um, where is that book? The Deadpool Spider-Man, Joe Kelly. Spider-Man Deadpool by Joe Kelly. Yeah, it was an oversized hardcover. I feel like we got it like around 2018.
that was a good book.
Yeah, it was really good. And that was part, I think, let me see if he did Joe Kelly write that whole Spider-Man Deadpool thing. Where do I have it? Deadpool. No, he didn't. He just wrote that. Wait, Spider-Man. No, that's by the guy Thompson. Okay, so he just wrote that. Um, well, Spider-Man Deadpool Isn't It Bromantic is by Joe Kelly, but then I think somebody else took it over. Bob Thompson or somebody, not Kelly Thompson.
I I actually happen to agree. Well, outside of Ultimate, yeah, he calls it outright. So AS says the last time 616 Spidey was the Slot superior, and I actually happen to agree with that. And Slot got so much
Oh,
crap for that book online.
I
Oh my god.
I remember looking at that cover. I think I picked up the Dimension Z stuff. Oh wait, that was Captain America. By Remender. I feel like maybe they were sort of around the same time, and I was just
Mm,
like, "Oh, Captain America's going to a different dimension. I'll read that." And then I was looking at, I was not pulling Spider Man, but I pulled the issue 700 or whichever one was the beginning of Superior Spider Man, and I was looking at that, and Steve, the owner of Third Eye, he was standing close to me, and he said, dude, that is a really amazing concept. And I'm like,
mhm,
oh, and he said, yeah, I won't spoil it for you, but you should read this, and it's going to be a really interesting run.
mhm.
Um, and I read it, and I thought, this is a really cool concept. I really dig it, but
Yeah.
it was like me and Steve were the only two in America that actually liked it. Everybody, you're right, was
Everybody was
really beating on Dan Slott.
pissed. Everybody was so mad. It's like, how dare you? How dare you desecrate the body of Peter Parker by having Dr. Octopus invade? You sycophant. You horrible human being. Dan Slott got death threats by nerds.
Death by
Online.
Nerd.
Death by nerd online. And it turned out to be one of the best modern day Spider-Man runs, and people still go, "Yeah, but Superior Spider-Man was actually pretty badass. It was a great book."
Yeah, loved the Spider Bots.
He took big swings. Slot
Did.
took a lot of
I
big
thought
swings.
Slot Superior was interesting. Granted, I wasn't part of any comic book community at the time to have my opinion swayed. That's why we stay off social media. So we
Oh, this
don't
is
have our opinion swayed. I'm
mhm.
convinced that if Lou had gotten off of Twitter before Wednesday showed up on Netflix, he would have enjoyed Net Wednesday. I think you read it got overhyped for you and it
It
couldn't live
did.
up to the hype. Whereas I just saw it and thought, oh, this looks fun, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, this brings up a larger point. What Kane says, she wasn't part of any comic book community to have your opinion swayed.
Mm,
You thought it was interesting on your own, and Kane, and I wonder if we give too much credence to um, now I not speaking for the viewers in the chat here, but like online in general. I wonder if we give too much credence to people's thoughts about books, and we don't even know those people. Um, and see, her opinion wasn't swayed, and she judged it on her own and thought it was interesting.
mm,
Um, and and now that I think about it, I think I've said this before. The only real way I find out people's opinions on a book, because I don't go to Twitter or anything, is through the chat or
yeah.
what you guys on OmniBros or what my guests think of a book. Um, like I know Beyond Comics spoke. I did an overview of this verse, the Tynion Batman, and I said in the overview, gee, this looks really interesting. And I like this. Oh, there's also a character introduced called Clown Hunter because Joker has these, henchmen called clowns. And Clown Hunter goes out and he's a vigilante that kills. He kills these clowns. And so we've barely touched on him, but that's interesting to me that there's like this kid. That goes out and kills Joker's henchmen.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's a new one. And I think this book ends before Miracle Molly. I think that's going to be an omnibus too. But I have it in because I have all the standard size hardcovers. But I want to read about her too because it sounds like she's an interesting character that Tinian introduces. Um, That is true. I thought it was interesting and I enjoyed his whole run. So I never got why Slot received so much hate. Um, the great thing about comics is writers can take crazy swings, and if it doesn't work, everything will eventually go back to normal. Um,
True.
yeah, who are you just saying takes big swings? The, you were just saying that for somebody.
Slot. Slot took big swings for
Slot.
for Superior Spider-Man. It was, and he did a lot on that on his Spider-Man run. I think now that we're far away from it, Slot's run will be remembered more fondly than what it was in the moment. Um, and I think for the most part, Slot's run is very, very good. I mean, the Spider Verse stuff is great.
Hmm.
Spider Island was okay. Superior Spider Man is undoubtedly the highlight of that run for me, and I think it's a run that has more highs than lows, and I think it's a run that again will be remembered very is going to be remembered very fondly as we kind of move further and further away from the knuckle draggers online that like to post stuff that make people mad online. I agree. My life has been a whole lot happier since I've stopped using Twitter. Most of everything social media wise, yeah, it's been a lot better. I'm
The,
happy.
o- the only thing I get from Twitter is when junior management sends me puppy videos.
I don't
And
get anything. I don't. Ugh.
so that's all I ever see of Twitter is her funny puppy videos that she pulls off of Twitter. So that's all I ever see. This is a good point too, because the Nick Spencer
Oh wow.
America Hail Hydra thing, because people immediately jump on the just like they did with Superior Spider-Man. They don't wait for the writer's complete thoughts and his overall vision to eventually to show itself. I mean, they just get mad, boom, right off the first issue, like they did with Superior Spider-Man. I haven't read Hail Hydra, so I don't know because I'm not that big of a Captain America fan. Um, but yeah, I remember when that happened that people just went nuts like right away. And there's something to be said for letting it play out and seeing what the writer has in mind.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's trendy. It's the trendy thing to do to hop on something that, and it's not only that. It's very easy to just dislike something, but to pull it apart and actually critique it and go, well, I didn't really like this, but I really enjoyed this, or this didn't work for me, or what, versus just going like a petulant child and going, nah, I hate this, you know, and that, but unfortunately, that's kind of what what's being rewarded now, right? It's anger. Anger is being rewarded through social media and through these rage bait channels and stuff like that. That they just constantly keep pumping out garbage and constantly keep pumping out drama, and sometimes to the point where they just invent bullshit themselves, and it just to kind of rile people up because that's what generates revenue for these sad and lonely and pathetic people. Um, and it, I think we need to give things a chance and accept things that have flaws in them because Guillermo del Toro did this whole speech a few months ago that I thought was brilliant. And he basically said, we have become like children, where things, if they're not the greatest thing ever, they're the worst thing ever. And I'm paraphrasing it completely. Discernment is slowly starting to rot away to just this is the most amazing thing in my life or this is the most horrible thing in my life and the content that we consume versus you know what, I really like this, there's some flaws here, but in some ways the flaws make it really really fun.
Hmm.
I'm super paraphrasing what
Yeah.
he said. One of my favorite movies of all time is Face Off. Face Off is dumb as hell and
Love that movie.
I can pick apart Face Off so much. Like, okay, the storyline really doesn't make sense. There are flaws throughout this whole thing, but god damn it, is Face Off fucking fun as
Oh
hell.
my gosh, that's a fun movie. It made me want to. At the time, I didn't. I there wasn't the. I mean, that was pre-internet, right?
Face Off?
Yeah,
Oh my god, yes. Face Off was like 95,
four
96.
ninety five. Yeah, and there was no way for me to find out what else John Woo had directed
Yeah.
because I immediately, after seeing all those 40,000 bullet cases shells fly around, which was the best part of the movie. It was just seeing how much sheer ammo was shot in that. I was like, I'd love to see more of this guy's stuff. And you know, um, and I couldn't, but now I can. But yeah, I love that. That sounds like the whole world, Lou. Everything has become so black and white. Yep, agree with Lou 100%. That reaction to Spencer's Cap was stupid. Cap has nuance. Love the whole Civil War Brubaker era. Nothing is 100% perfect. Everything has flaws. Either accept them for what they are or get mad. Getting mad only hurts the self while everyone else is living life. Well said. Oh, good. You're still here, Beyond. I love this as a topic. We're in a very critical world. Sometimes people forget to go into things actively trying to enjoy it and engage with it. I don't think. I don't even think AOL existed in '94 and '85. I do get both of those references, though. I remember having a Netscape browser, and I remember Ask Jeeves. That's funny.
I'll give you another. Maximum Overdrive. Maximum Overdrive is stupid as all get out. But Stephen King had the balls to go, yeah, you know what, Kubrick, De Palma, you guys suck at making my movies. I'm going to make my own
He
movie.
directed it, right?
He directed Maximum Overdrive. I'm like, you got some balls, man. And people really don't care for Maximum Overdrive. I really enjoy it. It's fun. It's dumb, but God, do I think if I ever meet Stephen King in real life, I want to get a signed copy of Maximum Overdrive and have him sign it for me.
Oh, I'm being corrected here by Spudboy. Wrong. The best part of Face Off is when Nick Cage
Oh my
headbangs
God.
fire while dressed as a priest. God, it makes me want to see that movie again.
Face Off is fantastic. I love it, dude. And the thing, John Travolta and Nick Cage, they steal every scene that they're in, and then they switch and they switch the person. They are so good in that movie. Honestly, oh my God, there was a period in the '90s where for me Nick Cage could do no wrong, and I've talked about this. It was Gone in 60 Seconds, The Rock,
Yeah.
Face Off, Con Air.
On Air
Those
was
Con Air is awesome. Again, another one of those movies where this is dumb, but good lord, is it fun?
What was the first one? Gone in 60 Seconds?
Gone in 60 Seconds is awesome.
I haven't seen that. I remember Ron Howard did Gone in 60 Seconds like right after Happy Days. Is
No,
it
this is
about
a
an
remake.
auto thief?
Huh?
Is it about an auto thief?
Yeah. It's about an auto thief. His name is Vincent Raines, and his brother gets tangled up with this boss played by Doctor Who, and by this mob boss played by Doctor Who. And he has to steal 50 cars in one night in order to save his brother.
Wow. Oh,
It's
you know what?
good.
I'm not remembering right. Eat My Dust was the movie that Ron Howard made.
It
Uh,
has it has a
60 seconds.
it has a gorgeous young Angelina Jolie in it, who for some reason has Rastafarian dreads.
Okay.
Yeah, it works. No, it works.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a good movie.
YP, the Tynion Omni introduced you to Ghostmaker. I not so far. I'm in the first. Almost halfway through this book. So far, I haven't seen Ghostmaker. I know the character, but I haven't been introduced to it yet. Her, him, it yet. But I did get introduced to Queen Ivy, which is uh, important because the Poison Ivy book by G. Willow Wilson is in the aftermath of that. That's why I really wanted to read this because so many things bounce out of this, like the Poison Ivy run, like the Batgirls run, like Harley Quinn by Stephanie Phillips. It all comes after this Joker War saga stuff. So to get really up to date with a lot of the lot of stuff. I want to finish this, but I haven't seen Clown Maker or Ghost Maker yet. Sorry. Um, where will Beyond? You're still here. Where will I see Ghostmaker? Because Beyond collected this whole thing in singles. Nick Cage has good movies or popcorn movies. Renfield is definitely popcorn flick. Renfield?
Yeah,
It's
Renfield is great.
um yeah, I thought 60 Gone in 60 Seconds was a remake, but it sounds like it's really cool. What's the one, The Unbearable Weight of Talent or whatever?
Oh yeah, the unbearable weight of massive talent. That's awesome. It's
And
fun.
is that like a self-referential one where he's in on the joke or whatever?
He plays himself. He plays Nick Cage, and he's brought to this island by this drug kingpin who's played by Pedro Pascal. And the government has recruited him because they find out, oh, this dude is a huge fan of you. He wants to meet you, but we need you to get some insider information on him to see what he's planning and try to get evidence so we could arrest him. And it's really self-referential, and if you really love Nick Cage's movies, you'll love the movie. It's a lot of fun.
I like Nick Cage. So I don't. I mean, I never saw Ghost Rider, but I mean, I could see it. But um, I he was great. One of his early movies was Valley Girl. That was
Mhm.
such a good movie, and that soundtrack kicks ass. But
Yeah,
I haven't
Cage,
seen.
Cage is an interesting guy, man. He's all over the map. He's done a lot of really cool projects. He's done a lot of really bad stuff. I feel like there was a period in the mid 2010s where it was like, oh Jesus, man, Nick Cage is doing a lot of really bad movies.
Mm,
But it seems like in the last few years since Mandy, he's really come back and he's done a lot of really interesting and cool shit. He did Pig, he did Mandy, he's done the voice for Spider-Man Noir, which we're getting a live action version of that.
he's great in that.
He was
I
great
love
in
his
that.
voiceover in that.
Right. We're getting a lot of really interesting stuff from him in kind of the twilight years of his career. And I'm really interested to see where he goes, what else he's got up his sleeve. A lot of the indie stuff he's been doing is really cool. He did a Willy's
Well,
Wonderland was good too.
we
That was
love
really good.
Long Legs. We both love Long Legs.
Fucking hell, I love Long Legs. Long
Yeah.
Legs was great.
I wish they didn't spoil it in the very beginning of the movie.
Me too.
Would have been much more effective if that was a reveal at the end.
Yeah.
AS asks, what was the movie he did with Sarah Jessica Parker, and James Caan?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that one either.
Honeymoon in Vegas?
Honeymoon in Vegas. Oh, I
Yeah.
think I saw that one actually, but a long time ago. Was
I've
that
never
the one
seen
with
it.
like the 50 Elvises jumping out of the parachuting out of the plane or something?
I've never seen it.
I think that was kind of funny, if I recall correctly. Uh, at Bad Boys and The Last Boy Scout of Dumb but Fun.
True.
Um, I really hated Last Boy Scout, but I liked Bad Boys. Nothing against
Really?
Dangerous Dragons. Soon as Last Boy Scout, as soon as that football player pulled the pistol from his pants and started shooting people to score the touchdown, I thought, oh God, do I really have to watch the rest of this movie? But I had paid money, so I sat in the theater. Yes,
That
that's how long ago it was. I left my house.
was that Shane Black? I think that might have been Shane Black.
Oh, I don't know. You know Shane Black stuff better than I do.
It was okay. So it was written by Shane Black, but Tony Scott directed it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Cage's Gone in 60 Seconds is indeed trashy fun, but the original 1974 film is genuinely one of the better American crime films of the 70s, which
Mm.
is saying a lot. I did remember that there was that movie back when I was a teenager. Ghostmaker shows up from issue. Oh, I'm on issue 100. Okay, so I'm about to be introduced to Ghostmaker. Awesome. Yes, we were just talking about that, so I must be behind in the chat, but not too far behind. The Ghost Rider sequel is underrated for being just over the top stupid in a good way.
I haven't seen it. I never watched it.
Did, was he in the sequel too, or was somebody else in the sequel?
He was in the sequel. Yeah, the big thing about the sequel was it was done by the Crank guys and it was rated R, where the first one was PG-13.
Oh, I forget. Crank is a Jason Statham movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
forget what the plot was of that. Have I seen that? I love Jason Statham. What was the plot of Crank?
He has to keep moving or else he dies. He's got a like an engine in his heart or something stupid like that.
Right,
It's a
it's
fun
sort of
movie.
like Speed, only in a guy. He's
Yeah,
got to keep moving. Okay, I haven't seen that. I do love Jason Statham, though. I
it's a fun
definitely
movie.
like him a lot.
Um, we're getting a little bit late, and I still haven't had dinner. So, do you mind if we start kind of phoning it in, bringing him home?
Raising Arizona. I remember that was great. Yeah. Yeah, we can wind this up. Snake Eyes. Snake
Snake
Eyes?
Eyes.
Yeah, Honeymoon in Vegas. Yeah, Leaving Las Vegas is what he won the Oscar for, and he was drinking himself to death. I couldn't bring myself to watch that movie.
Uh,
Oh, Adaptation. I feel like maybe you told me to see this. Have you seen Adaptation, Nick Cage?
no, I haven't seen this.
Huh. Raising Arizona was great. And if Raising Arizona had a graphic novel, the cheapest place to find it would be instocktrades.com, where you can get your collected editions from 30 somewhat percent off, sometimes all the way up to 60 or 80% off. Don't forget your 2% loyalty discount. I feel like Jewish Dragons asked how long my longest streak of getting the 2% loyalty discount was. Uh, I don't. I probably 6 weeks or something. There's some like this week. I didn't order anything. There wasn't anything that I really needed. So it's not. I don't have something crazy like 3 years. I would be interested in what somebody's longest streak of getting the 2% loyalty discount is, though. That's a good question. Every month we give away a $50 gift card courtesy of InStockTrades.com worth $50 in your account at IST. $50 or more gets you free shipping in the United States. Oh, that reminds me. I did get something. I'll go into it more. I'll show it here. Free shipping. Yeah. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. I got this finally, the Treasury Edition Doom by Hickman and Sanford Green. This was holding up a lot of people's orders because I think
Mm,
it got back ordered. Um, but I'll show it off more on Monday. But
okay.
it looks remarkable. I didn't get it when it came out in regular comic book format. It sold out like almost immediately. So I'm happy to get this. Let's see. I want to say Laura Dern was in it. Adaptation is great. Adaptation is one of my favorite movies of all time. Hmm. What's Adaptation about? Have I seen it?
I've never seen it. I don't think I have.
Next, imagine that would be interesting. Chat. Last Boy Scout is also infamous for being the single most profitable spec script of any film ever at that point, 1.75 million, and which essentially single-handedly kicked off the original spec script gold rush of the 90s that then
Hmm.
lasted well into the aughts. I think 2020 was my streak. How all of 2020? That
Damn.
that's a streak, man. 52
Jesus.
weeks. 52 weeks. That's No
Holy,
way do I have 52 weeks.
holy crap.
Thank you for asking. Tomorrow night is going to be a special Batter Days in the Bat Cave with Dom of X and Curtis from Marvel Epic Marvel Podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, and maybe Taylor Talks Comics will be able to join too. He's kind of a maybe. Um, but Dom and Curtis, two great people tomorrow, Batter Days, 8 o'clock. Thank you, James, for asking. And we have Patreon, 1 p.m. on Sunday.
Yes, we do. Patreon.com/OmniBros live. Guys, we will be doing the 1 o'clock Patreon stream this Sunday, where if you want to join us, $5 a month gets you the invitation to join Jess and I and our lovely patrons as we discuss kind of shooting the ish a little bit. But this week in particular, Jess and I will be going back and we will be discussing Superior Foes of Spider-Man. That is a book that I mentioned earlier on in the stream. And we're going to go into more details about it and just how much we love the book and how much fun it is. So check that out, guys.
And if you can't get a hold of it or read it in time on Marvel Unlimited, we have a backup choice that we'll talk about if you want, All Star Superman.
That's
So
true.
we'll talk about whatever you want, and it is just an amazing Patreon
Have
because,
a
of
great.
course, it's me and Lou, and you can ask us anything, and I'll give you an honest answer.
It's
Whereas on this show, I have to lie, but I'll tell you the truth on Patreon.
yes. It's $5 a month, guys. It's the price of a Hershey bar right now. Okay, so
Hershey bar. I think Dom's making the thumbnail, but I'll get back to you. Thank you, James. James is making really good thumbnails these days. Really, really good thumbnails. Adaptation is a surreal metafilm about a fictional version of the writer-director trying to make a film. Gee, I feel like I've seen this. The book The Orchid Thief. I feel like I have seen this. Huh. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you for watching OmniBros Live. And we appreciate all of you. Lovely to see you all. And Monday, we will be back. I have to say, I was a little disappointed that Geo didn't leave us something horrifying and scary as the background. He's just they lost their mojo last night or something.
I guess.
Yeah. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone. Thank you. All of you have a great weekend. And peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night, everyone.
Whoops. I went past the. I went past the. There it is. Okay. There we go.
Hey. Good night, everyone.